who is a Vice Chancellor, S. Vyasa, President, Karnataka State Private Curriculum. I heartily welcome you, sir. I welcome today's event President Dr. Jayanti, sir, our support system, and to encourage in all the curricular and extracurricular activities. I heartily welcome you, sir. I also welcome today's event advisor, Dr. Srivatsa sir, Professor and HOD, PG Department, Samita Siddhanta, JMC Mysuru, and Organizing Secretary, Dr. V. A. Chatte sir, Associate Professor, UG Department HOD, Samita Siddhanta, JMC Mysuru, who are the architectures of this event. I heartily welcome you, sir. I also welcome all the teaching staff of Government Ayurvedic College, Mysuru, all the delegates and the dignitaries who have joined through the link, and all the PG students and the UG students. I heartily welcome one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Before heading to our program as such, I would like to call Dr. Srivatsa, Professor and Head, Department of Ayurveda Samhita Siddhanta, to brief about the program Charaka Ghosham. Sir?
Everyone, audible?
You're audible, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Shastram Jyotihi Akashatham Kshanam Dhiratmanah Suyuktabhyam Kitsanna Parati Chikitsanna Apati Chikitsanna Aradhyati Chikitsanna Apadati Chikitsanna Apadrayati. A very good morning to everyone. Respected dignitaries present over here, Dr. Kiran, who is going to do the keynote address. Respected PM Krishna sir. Respected Dr. Jayanti sir, and the respected delegates. It gives us pleasure to introduce the program Charaka Ghosham. Versus Jyotihi has been created, is done purposefully. Repetition is a mode of learning, repetition, at a knowledge. Keeping this particular objective mind, just to bring Shabda, which is a mode of Chikitsa in Charaka Samhita, or mantra in the Gita are over here, which are to support management as per Charaka Samhita. This high export positivity, which is very essential in present scenario. Main objective of this grant is to get expertise in Chikitsa. To have expertise, two components are very essential. Is Shastra, second one is Buddha. when we develop these two methods early, when we add mastery into components, then getting expertise in Chikitsa will be the easy for all of us. The Vayamudya utilized in this program is the Shabda Vijay. There are two methods of execution which we find in this system. One is what who are having the four Shabda. We know the form of energy, which is a Vayamudya even for Sikhism. The approach Shvana is only achieved through the deliberations of expert knowledge in the field. We have organized webinar series here. Process of Vachana is achieved through the recitation, which is going to be done by UG as well as PG scholars, government at the medical college. The outcome we are expecting, and we are sure we will achieve this outcome, that is attainment of Sahaja Satmya Prakasmita. Sahaja Satmya. There is it's a first chapter with description of the turns Ayurveda, he will become Vijay. So, when the person becomes Vijay, certainly he should have the Sahasratmitva of the Rakasmitva, which is very important to success in the field of Ayurveda. So, keeping these points in that are objectives, methodology, and outcomes, the program Charaka Ghosham has been organized by Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore, in association with the Ayurveda Parishad. The participants will get the benefits of this work. I would like to thank everyone who are gathered over here, and my special thanks to Dr. Murthy sir, who is the alumni of our lecture, and we are blessed to have you. And I'd like to thank E.D.R. Ramakrishna sir, who is always an inspiration and technology. Once again, welcome you all. Wish you have a knowledgeable journey throughout this week. Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for briefing the overview of Charaka Ghosham. We feel privileged to have your supervision and backing with us all the times possible. Without wasting much time, let's move on to our inaugural function aspect. It is a great honor to have in Dr. Kirathamurthy sir, our alumni, chief guest of this event, who despite of his very pressing schedule has kindly accepted our invitation to grace the occasion by being the chief guest of this ceremony. I, on behalf of this organizing committee, Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, on behalf of principal, staff and students of GMC Mysore, and on behalf of everyone assembled here, I extend you, sir, a sincere welcome, and over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
It's really a privilege to be to assemble here in this August meeting. In 1989, I joined in Mysore Ayurveda College as PG student, and I remember all the things that we had enjoyed in the Government College of Mysore. And I was doing Thai Chikitsa PG there under the guidance of Dr. Gopinath ji, and I still remember, and I give namaskarams on his feet for guiding me in the PGs of Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, and Dr. Anjaneya Murthy, who was always a supporting hand, supporting for us by we were studying in Government Ayurveda College, Mysore. It is see the Reform Committee Chairman of Padartha Vigyan by CCIM, we were thinking about changing this teaching methodology, and according to the Bloom's taxonomy, they were asking to revise the subject of Padartha Vigyana. So we had discussed about it, and when I went through the teaching methodology of Upanishads and also Charaka Samhita, we found out that Charaka teaches all these things in Sanskrit words. That's only the difference. And also in Upanishads also 10 types of teaching methodologies are explained, and we say that in Ashtanga Hridaya we say how a prostrations for the subject is done. He says about 4 methods, that is Adhiti, Bodha, Acharana and Pracharana. Adhiti is studying or by hearting, and Bodha is comprehension, and Acharana is skill, and Pracharana is the communication or the we say attitude. So what Bloom's taxonomy in this era says about it, everything is combined in Charaka Samhita and Upanishads and in our Bharatiya civilization. So we are not unearthing our own treasures, and we are switching over to others' areas, and according to that we are changing. So in the meeting I told we should rename this, because we have always respect for Westerners and we don't have respect for our own ancient teaching methodology. So I told this should be rechanged. The name should be rechanged as Adhiti, Bodha, Acharana and Pracharana. And you can give in bracket all these Bloom's taxonomy, what they say, the terminologies. So it is going on, and I will be certainly, I am very much happy to present this subject keynote address to the Charaka Samhita. I will be doing it, and I have much respect for all the our stalwarts assembled here. Principal Dr. Gajan Headley, I press namaskaram to sir, and Dr. Shivat sir, and Dr. Vasudev Chate. He only called me and asked to present this keynote address for Charaka Samhita, and Ashwini Patil, Dr. Ashwini Patil, Dr. Raghavendra, and also Dr. Ashish ji, and Ramashta Hegde ji, and namaskarams to all. I will be presenting the keynote address after this, and after that we shall take the subject as such. And I had many experiences in clinical experiences in Government College of Government Medical College of Ayurveda Medical College of Mysore, and I'll be telling all these things also in the keynote address. Now, as this meeting is for just inauguration, I stop here, and thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of everyone, I thank you for providing your gracious presence to join us today to enhance our join with your inaugural speech. Now, I would like to call our another chief guest, Dr. B. R. Ramakrishna, sir, Vice Chancellor, S. Vyasa University and President of Karnataka State Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad. I welcome you, sir. I request you to speak few words.
नमस्ते गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम आदरणीय प्रांशुपाल Dr. Gadanand Hegde ji and the keynote addressee of today's function, Dr. Kiratan Murthy ji, Dr. Srivatsa and all others. In fact, it gives me an immense pleasure to be associated with these, especially with the good old Government Ayurveda Medical College under the dynamic leadership of our Gadanand Hegde on the subject called Charaka Ghosham. Yeah, what a wonderful subject. See, for a clinician, it is my own experience that the more number of shlokas you keep in your lips, you can convince the patients better. For your information, when I completed my final year BSAM degree, in my lips there were more than 3,000 shlokas, all Brihatrayi, Laghutrayi and Nigantus put together. Today even, I am a practitioner too. Every time whenever I see a patient, even I have the opportunity of seeing the VIP, VVIP patients, including the governors of Karnataka and the many ministers. I don't do any miraculous thing. I only recite one or two shlokas in that context and they get convinced. Therefore, my dear students and participants, think that learning by heart of shlokas and keep on recollecting is a waste. It is the real wisdom and it is the asset for you and it is going to be an additional qualification in your clinical practice. You understand that? Learning by heart of shlokas is not merely for the teachers. It is mandatorily required for the clinicians. When you recite a shloka, the counterpart, that the patient understands that you have an authority on the subject. Therefore, Government Ayurveda Medical College and the Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad together has organized Charaka Ghosham in the context of Charaka Jayanti 2021 is really a very great
Hello, sir. Sorry for inconvenience. Sir will join us soon.
not audible.
So now it's audible, sir. Sir? Sir, you are audible.
ಏನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ಆಡಿಬಲ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಈಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೇಳಿ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
ನಮ್ದಾಯ್ತು, ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು.
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಹೌದಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, I don't know where it got disconnected, but let me again thank one and all And it is a very great thinking, vision and mission by Government Ayurveda Medical College in collaboration with Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad to have this Charaka Ghosham, and I wish this program all the best. And I thank one and all for having given me an opportunity to say a few words on this occasion. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Even with your tight schedule, you make time for us and joined us. And thank you for enlightening us with your words. Thank you, sir. Now, it is indeed a matter of pride for us that Dr. Gajanana Hegde, sir, our esteemed principal, Government Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital, Mysuru, is presiding over our inaugural ceremony. Sir is having impressive credentials comparable to those of the best of educators in accredited colleges and universities across the state. On behalf of this gathering, I extend to you, sir, a very sincere and hearty welcome to deliver the presidential address.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you, sir. So, respected Dr. Ramakrishna ji, the President of Karnataka branch, Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, and the Vice Chancellor of S. Vyasa University, Bangalore, and another one chief guest of today's function, Dr. Kirat Murthy ji. I am very happy to say that he is alumni of our institution, our own department, that is Kai Chikitsa, and respected office bearers of our own institution, Dr. B.H. Ate, who is organizing this program, and Dr. Srivatsa, who has actively participated in this webinar series, and other faculty members of Samhita Siddhanta departments of our Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore, and office bearers of and members of Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad who joined in this webinar series. On this auspicious occasion, that is Charaka Jayanti, that will be celebrated on 13th, that is Naga Panchami of this month. On this occasion, we are organizing the function called Charaka Ghosham. So already Dr. Kirat Murthy sir told that there are 4 types of learning methods. One among them is reciting slokas. And also our beloved Dr. Ramakrishna told that you can recite not less than 3,000 slokas at any time at the tip of his lips. Just imagine what is the importance of Ghosham or by hearting slokas, important in our practicing of Ayurveda. As you know, the Ayurveda is a system of medicine and lifestyle developed in ancient India. I am very much stressing upon lifestyle. System of medicine and lifestyle developed in ancient India. And Acharya Charaka was one of the principal contributors to Ayurveda. It is 300 BC is now to be date of birth of Charaka Acharya. So about 2,321 years he was born. And still he is rather Smaraniya to us. So this is shown the contribution of knowledge and clinical practice to Ayurveda and us. Since April 2020, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysuru, and our faculty members are organizing so many webinars, seminars, I think virtual programs on the different occasions to enrich the knowledge of our students and also the faculty. One among them, this is also a beautiful, wonderful webinar series organized by our Samhita Siddhanta department, headed by Dr. Srivatsa and Dr. Chate and others. So Charaka Ghosham, this is nothing but listening to the selected portions of Charaka Samhita and learning Charaka Samhita through selected orientations have been planned in this program. And 4 days we are going. On first day, that is today, keynote address by Dr. Murthy sir and Sloka recitation by second year BAMS students of our college. And second day, Dr. Rajendra will be the speaker and interpreting the slokas recited by first year students of our college. And third day, sloka recitation by BAMS third year students and Dr. Maitreyi will be the speaker of that function. On fourth day, sloka recitation by fourth year BAMS students and Srivatsa will be the speaker. So I am very happy to say that we have wonderful and resourceful faculty members to arrange any such type of programs. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers and office bearers of Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad for giving me an opportunity to preside this function. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for highlighting the importance of reading Charaka Samhita and briefing the overview of programs of Charaka Ghosham. And thank you for your unconditional support and guidance throughout. Now, we are at the end of our inaugural ceremony. Now, I, on behalf of organizing committee and the team, let me call Dr. Vasudev Anand Chate, sir, Associate Professor, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysuru, to extend the vote of thanks to all the speakers.
Paramagurubhyo Namaha. Good morning, all. Respected Principal Dr. Gajan Hegde, sir. Our today's Chief Guest, Dr. Sirathamurthy, sir. Dr. B.R. Ramakrishnan, sir. Departmental HOD, Dr. Srivastava, sir. Departmental colleagues, teaching faculty of GMC Mysore, and delegates who joined virtually from different colleges. This Yojana Yadu. So, pandemic condition cannot stop the student from learning. By making proper planning, that is Yojana, virtually we can get wonderful speakers like Dr. Kirat. Sir, it is our privilege to have you as a chief guest and resource person for keynote address. Thank you very much, sir, accepting our request and making this program successful. Thank you, sir. I thank one more word today's guest, Dr. B.R. Ramakrishnan, sir, Vice Chancellor, Research University, and President, Karnataka Vishwayurveda Parishad. Thank you, sir. Thanks for support and and, and making this program successful. Sincerely pay my thanks to our respected Principal Gajan Hegde, sir, our backbone of all activities. Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity to Samhita Siddhanta Department. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Srivastava, sir, HOD, PG Department of Samhita Siddhanta, for encouragement, guidance, and support. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Ashwini Patil and Sri Raghavendra for their active involvement in this program and also this Sloka Recitation activity. I also thank teaching faculties of GMC Mysore and other therapeutic institutions for joining this program and spending your valuable time. I thank all stakeholder members of Vishwayurveda Parishad for your support and guidelines. Very much thankful to coordinators of this program, that is PG Scholars of Samhita Siddhanta Department, your active participation and timely help. At this time, I would like to thank Mr. Ganesh Prasad, first year UG students, for preparing beautiful brochure. I thank all the students who are actively participating in Sloka Recitation program. At last but not least, I thank students of JMC Mysore and other colleges who joined this program and made this event successful. Thank you. Thank you, Annette.
Thank you, Dr. Chattis, sir. Thank you very much. Now, we'll head to our program as such. I would like to call Dr. Dashni, first year PG scholar, to speak few words about Dr. Kiratamurthy, sir, and to welcome sir to deliver the keynote address.
Sir, 660. Inaugural ಮಾತ್ರ inaugural ಮಾತ್ರ.
Good morning to all. It's my great delight to introduce an eminent personality in the field of Ayurveda, Dr. Kiratamurthy CP, hails from Palakkad, Kerala. Completed his undergraduate education from Ayurveda College, Coimbatore in the year 1986 and postgraduate studies in Kachikitsa from Government College of Indian Medicine, Mysore, under Mysore University in the year 1990. Sir is currently designated as Professor and Head Department of Panchakarma in Vishnu Ayurveda College, Shornur, Kerala. He has teaching experience of 30 years as lecturer in Ayurveda College, Coimbatore, and associate professor and assistant professor at VPSV College, Kottakkal. He is author of book postgraduate textbook of Samhita and Siddhanta, which is famous amongst all. Also, chief editor of Bishop News and Satyana, and co-editor of book that is Concept of Mind. Sir himself served as chairman of NCISM Syllabus Reform Committee of Padartha Vijnana, New Delhi. He is also member of Board of Studies in various colleges throughout India. He has been resource person in numerous workshops, paper presentations, national and international seminars in relation to Ayurveda and collaborative topics. From his illustrious career, inspiring and guiding several PG scholars. Interesting to know that Sir served as State Vice President of Tapasya Kala Sahityadi, Kerala, and awardee of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement National Award by International Institute for Social and Economic Reforms, Bengaluru. On behalf of organizing committee, I wholeheartedly welcome you to address the keynote on today's event. Over to you, sir.
Sir,
Am I audible?
yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
It's really a homecoming for me to deliver a lecture in Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, because I was student of Government Ayurveda College, Mysore. So it is really a homecoming, and I love the students and also teachers of Government Ayurveda College, Mysore. The subject of discussion as such about Charaka Samhita, such a great text is taken for the study is really appreciable. In Sanskrit, it is said, Ekaha Shabdaha Sushtuvarida Swarge Kamaduk Bhavadi. Just one word, if you know the meaning, if you can pronounce well, it will lead to the Swarga. And when the Charaka Ghosha, it is studying the Charaka Samhita or chanting the Charaka Samhita, it itself creates a good atmosphere and also a mental and it creates a mental balance and also mental happiness for the students. And when you know this, when you know the meaning of it, certainly it will create a good ambience in your mind, body, and also knowledge also will be got from the medicinal system of Ayurveda. So certainly chanting is very, very much important. It is one of the 4 methods of studying Ayurveda, that is Athiti. Athiti is by hearting only. So when you by heart it, and in Ashtanga Hridayakara, Bhakkhada says, Hridayamiva Hridayame Tat Sarva Ayurveda Vangmaya Payodhe. We Hridayamiva Hridayame Tat. This is the by heart. You have to keep it in your heart. The verses, you have to keep it into heart and think about it and find out the meaning so that you can understand what is Ayurveda. You can practice the knowledge. I tell you, when we used to by heart all these Ashtanga Hridaya slokas, so when we go to a patient, we can understand all the pathology of the patient and also the disease without looking into a text. So this is very much important, and I appreciate the Samhita Siddhanta Department of Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, for taking such a subject and conducting such a program. Thank you very much. And I know that the first years are first years and also second year, all years students will be there for hearing this Charaka Samhita. So I shall make it as simple as possible. It says, Acharya, how we can teach the students. And Mahabhashya, a great Sanskrit text, says, Acharya suhrit bhutva shishyam adhyapayet. How you have to teach the students is Acharya suhrit bhutva. You have to become the friend of a student. And suhrit bhutva, we have to be have friendship with the students. Then only you can deliver the knowledge to a student. So that is very much important. So I shall make it as simple as possible, and we can go to the subject. I shall share the presentation. 1 minute. Will you allow me to present? Please.
1 minute. 1 minute, sir. Sir, you can start.
I can.
You can start sharing, sir.
Okay. So today's keynote address will be Siddhanta and Prayoga in Charaka Samhita. That's what I wanted to tell you. Siddhanta is not a separate thing, and Prayoga is not a separate thing. What we see now is Siddhanta will be learned in the first year, and and students will be forgetting it when the Prayoga comes. So, this is what Is it? Can you see the slides?
So previously it was visible, sir. Now only the photo is visible.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, once you share the screen, you can minimize that screen and you can open your PPT, sir. Then it's visible.
A PPT is open.
Sir, first you have to share the screen in Google Meet, sir. After that option, you have to minimize the Google Meet in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Have you? So shall we present the PPT, sir?
Yeah,
Sir, can you forward it to chat, sir? We'll present, sir.
yeah. 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay. Is it seen?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir. You can put it to the slide share
Okay.
presentation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the significance of Charaka Samhita is it is divided into three major parts: Hedu Linga Aushata, Hedu Linga and Aushata. So it is depending upon the main knowledge of Ayurveda is the causative factors of the disease and how it can be identified and how it can be treated. So it has been divided into three types: Hetu, Linga, and Aushata. And we can see judicious blending of the theory and practice is done in Ayurveda only in Charaka Samhita. The Thai Chikitsa speciality is very much based, and there are 120 chapters which represents the Ayus. So our Ayus is 120 years. So accordingly, the chapters also are 120, and it has been divided into Sutra, Nidana, Vimana, Sharira Sthana, Indriya Sthana, Chikitsa, Kalpa, and Siddhi. That 8 sthanas. This is a special thing which is in Charaka Samhita. This is very much can be utilized for the knowledge of science. So we shall see, and the subjects have been very much divided, and all the adhyayas of Charaka Samhita are a class that we have to understand. he will be exhaustively telling about whatever the subject he deals. It will be exhaustively, and there is a philosophical understanding behind it and practical utility of that philosophy. This philosophy, Charaka is a philosophical man, and he applies the philosophy for the practical purposes. So what we have to do in Ayurveda is we have to understand the philosophy and practically we have to utilize it. So this diet, exercise, sleep, triad of health and immunity are very much stressed. And so he sees the whole thing as a holistic approach. The disease is not a separate entity. It is caused by different areas. 1,000 positive factors will be there, and many types of areas will be involved in it. So everything is in it exhaustively. He tells about it. So there may be 100 causes behind a disease, and he specifically finds out what is the causative factor behind it and treats accordingly. So we can be specific in treatment. So in the subject, when it is described, like Janavadodham Saniya, he tells about what is the main thing behind it, which is unknown also. So he says in Janavadodham epidemics, now we are undergoing epidemics, and he tells about what is the cause of epidemics is atharma. Atharma is not directly seen, but it is like in Sankhya system of medicine, Sankhya system of philosophy, it says avyakta. There are something which is not directly perceivable, but we have to find out that this is the causative factor. So adharma is the causative factor. In many types it may be the causative. So we have, when we want to remove all the disorder, we have to even find out what is the causative factor which is unseen and find out it and remove it. So in this condition also, we know that in the epidemic era, there are some factors which are no atharma, which are the causative factor for the disease. So he thinks in a philosophical manner and finds out what are the causative behind it, whether it is seen or unseen. Even Purva Janma is a
Hello, sir.
causative factor for it.
One minute.
Sir? Sir?
Sir, Kirata,
Yeah, I shall send it to them. So the Ayurvedic knowledge in the philosophical way, we have to understand it. Even diet, exercise, and sleep triad of health and immunity. sexual
Hello,
health,
sir.
medical education. Tell me.
Sir, can you put it to the presentation mode, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, last option.
Is it seen now?
Sir, it is visible, sir, but you put it to the presentation mode, sir. Last option.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Is it okay?
So one
Is it
second.
okay?
Sir, even now it is same, sir. Like previous only it is showing.
Now also.
Now also it is same, sir.
Not in. It is seen in not in the presentation mode.
No, sir, it is not in presentation mode, sir. Just the slides are visible.
So shall I stop sharing and do once more?
Sir, you stop the sharing, sir. I'll share your PPT,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, I have stopped sharing.
Yes, sir.
Now it's not seen, is it?
No, sir, it's not seen. I'll present, sir, now.
Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. So shall I continue? Without PPT also we can do. So Ayurveda preaches about the holistic approach of the medicines. Even in modern medicine, there is systemic biology that deals about holistic approach. That new science of medicine they are having. So we see in Ayurveda as a man as a holistic, which is Atma, Manas, and Indriyas, and also okay. Okay. So the Siddhantas, okay, the Siddhantas, the principles which are applied in Ayurveda can be divided into many areas. That is Ragadi Roga Siddhanta, Yoga Purusha Siddhanta, Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, Drabya Guna Karma Siddhanta, and Purusha Siddhanta, Panchabhuta Siddhanta, Tridosha Siddhanta, Ama Siddhanta, and Karyakarana Siddhanta. So we shall see. See, a medicine acts in many ways. That is, Ragadi Roga Siddhanta means man as a whole is composed of Atma, Manas, Indriya, and body. So, in any of the areas, disease can be originated. So, when it is originated in the mind, we have to treat accordingly with the mind should be treated first. So, I have seen many cases. See, this is my clinical experience. A lady comes with insomnia. So what we will be doing in other sciences that she will be given medicine for getting sleep. So I asked him, what is the problem behind it? That is why Charaka Samhita says that Jnana Buddhi Pradipena Yona Vishati Tattvavat Adurasya Antaratmanam Rasa Yogam Chikilsati. The disease has been originated in the mind. So we have to find out the problem of the person. So I asked him what is the problem. She was telling his son is studying for Ayurveda in a Coimbatore or in Tamil Nadu, and she cannot see him. That is why she is getting always this insomnia, always. So I asked this son to come and discuss with him. I asked the son to come inside my consultation room and we discussed. And I asked him, he has to come every week and stay one day, Sunday, with the mother, and he can go in the Monday. So this was followed by him every week, and she was getting proper sleep. And he has done PG also in Manasika now. I don't say the name of the person. Just by the managing of the problem, we are getting relief of the person. And it is Swabhava Uparamavada. What the positive factors, when it is removed, when the Nidana is removed properly, then the disease subsides. So we need not give medicines to all the patients. We can find out the cause and remove it. That is what I am telling about the principle Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta. The yoga starts from raga and spreads to the whole body and it becomes disease. So we are seeing the disease in the body only, but the disease origin lies in the raga or the mind, desire or mental problems. Raga, dvesha, bhaya, lobha, all these things will be having effect in the body, and we say that in a Charaka Samhita says that the body and mind are not different; they are very much related. But in Hridaya Bhautika Vyakhyana of Ashtanga Hridaya, he says about it that like the Ashraya Bandha is there, like the pot when hot, ghee inside will be heated, and when heated ghee is put in the pot, it also will be heated. So, like that, the body has got Ashraya Bandha with the mind. So, we have to see the psychological problems, what the patient is feeling, and we have to correct it. This is very much followed by Sharirendriya Sattva Atma Samyogo Thari Jividam Nityagascha Anubandhascha Paryayair Ayurichyate. We are treating in Ayurveda Ayus. That is Sharira, Indriya, Sattva, and Atma. So we have to find out in which area it has been originated. That is the first thing we have to find out. And Charaka, in the first chapter, he explains what is Ayurveda: Hitahidam, Sukham, Dukkham, Ayustasya Hitahidam, Manam cha Tachayatrotam, Ayurveda Sauchade. What is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is finding out the areas of disease in these four areas, and appropriate measures should be adopted to remove the causative factor. So that is Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta. Next, please. Next, please. Please, next slide. Next. So next slide. So, sorry. So this is the condition we have to understand in every. So principles and practice. What are the principles in the first chapter? We are practicing it. So I shall tell you a practical approach of the principles in Ayurveda. This is a case of Sannipata Jwara. I'm taking as many of the cases from Jwara because in ancient day, the teaching methodology in Ayurveda is first Sutrasthana, 15 chapters we have to study them. Then that is the basic principles of treatment, basic principles of the human being. Everything is described in the Sutrasthana, and the practical approach from the treatment depends upon different conditions of the patient, and that is very much described in the Jwara Chikitsa. So Jwara is not a fever. There are many areas of treatment described in Jwara that we have to find out and utilize it in other cases of diseases also. So this is a case of, we can say it is same as Sannipata Jwara. He was having purpuric spots all over the body, and the disease is called allergic vasculitis. In Sannipata Jwara, Rakta Mandala Darshana is good, and there may be blood oozing out also in the Sannipata Jwara, some of the cases. So this was a case in allergic vasculitis. Due to the vasculitis condition, blood was oozing out, and in such conditions, I adapted a treatment that is described in Charaka Samhita. Kirata Tiktagam Tikta, Musta Parpadavomata, Handi Pita Nijapyasat, Punaravartaga Jwara. It is described for Punaravartaga Jwara. So this medicine was given for this patient, and he, after many years of modern treatment in different hospitals, he was not getting any relief. His name is Ramakrishnan, and he was not getting any relief. And next. So we gave this kashaya that is described in Jwara Chikitsa, and he got the complete relief of the disease. So Sannipata Jwara can be taken as a measure in allergic vasculitis, which is a condition similar to it. We cannot get the same name disorder in this era. It may be different names in modern classical texts. It may be given as different names, but it doesn't make any difference. We have to identify it according to the dosha and our chapters of diseases described by Charaka. We can give it and practically utilize and find out and get the results. So Jwaro Roga Padipapa Mrityu Rojo Asenontaga Protho Dakshabharatham Si Ruddortha Nayanodhava. It shows that Pitta is very much increased in Jwara. So what we are giving the Kirata Tikta, etc., Tikta Dravyas, it subsides, and it is Shita and also Rucha. Preda is increased in the Jwara. So what we have to do is, according to the gunas, Ruksha Sita should be given. So Kirata Tiktakam, Tikta, Musta, Parpadaga, Amrita, all these things are Tikta, and also according to the guna characters, it is Ruksha Sita, and it gives result in the so this basic principle we are utilizing in this treatment of every conditions, every different. Though Purana Prabiliyante, Navina Pradurasade, the disorder will be different in this era. It may be named different, but Yatha Pachi Paripadan Sarvada Sarva Apyaha Chaya Bhakti. It doesn't overcome the Tridosha concept. Whatever the disorder, you name it, but it doesn't make any difference. It is due to the Tridosha only. And when we have the principle, we have the knowledge of Vada, Pitta, and Tapa, how it is, by what gunas it has been aggravated, by what gunas it has been decreased, we have to find out, and opposite treatment is given. That is Samanya Vishesha Siddhartha is practiced. See, in the Charaka Samhita, the first chapter, it says about in the Atrayadi Rishis, they went to Indra and studied Ayurveda. What they studied is Samanyam cha Vishesham cha Gunan Dravyani Karma cha Samavayan cha Tajnatva Tantroktam Vidhi Masthidah. What Indra taught them was the Shat Padarthas. That is the key. Like the keynote address, it was the key to open the treasure of Ayurveda. All this Ayurvedic knowledge is inscribed in the Shat Padarthas. When you know Samanya Vishesha of Dravya, Guna, and Karma. The practical approach of the disorder, whether decreasing the disease, is depending upon Dravya, Guna, and Karma. And Samanya, Vishesha, Dravya Samanya, Guna Samanya, Karma Samanya. Dravya Vishesha, Guna Vishesha, Karma Vishesha. This is the basic principle by which we are treating. If a dhatu or dosha is increased, in which character it is increased, which dravya is increased, just give opposite and make the equilibrium of doshas. The equilibrium of doshas is the health of the man, and we have to keep it. That is why this is the key for, and how it can be practically utilized. That is explained in all chapters of Charaka Samhita. So he is relating the philosophy into practice. So we shall also see, like I told you in the Jara, we are seeing the Dravya, Guna, and Karma and treating accordingly and getting the results. Next slide, please. Next slide. So disease originates from the Ragadi Yoga Siddhartha. That is what it was showed. So this is judiciously we are employing these principles in the treatment. That is what we are doing. Next slide, please. Next slide. So we say that, see, 1 minute. This is the modern classical text about it is belief and treatment. That is very much interrelated. Everything is changing. Okay, this is Bruce Lipton has written a book called Bruce Lipton has Biology of Belief. See, our mental attitude has very much relation with the disease. So that is what the Dagadi Yoga Siddhanta, that's what I wanted. Bruce Lipton, there was a congenital wart in the face of a patient, and he was counseling the lady, and even though surgery is done, it relaxes. So in such cases, he give psychological treatment, and that wart was removed. So, and he has written a book called Biology of Belief that explains how much belief has got a relation with the treatment. That is biology of belief. The biology can be changed, genetic character can be changed if you have psychologically managing technique. So that is what explained in biology of belief. And that is why we in Ayurveda starts with Ragadi Yoga. That is the importance of Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta. Then next please. Next please.
Sir, it is somewhat slow, sir. You can speak, sir.
So that is why, so the Shat Padarthas are utilized in the treatment methodologies. That is what I explained in the Jata. Kirata Tiktakam Tikta Musta Parpadago Amrta Andi Pitani Chapyasat Punaravartagatu. This case of that allergic vasculitis was cured by judiciously employing the Siddhanta of Ayurveda that is prescribed in the Jara chapter. So, next please. So, Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta Ushnam Ushnena Samritam Pittam Sarati Upidi Chida Shide Kuba Tapaschavam Asande Samudidyade Charaka Jayanti, the pigs, the avasthas. This we have to understand. There are many medicines told in the text, in one chapter itself. So, Charaka, Acharya Charaka, this is a dialogue between Agnivesha and Atreya. Agnivesha asks questions and Atreya answers. So, every chapter is a classical example of a class. Some questions may be arised by the Shishya first itself, or Acharya may question the things and answers all these things. Answers all the questions. So we can see in the Charaka Sharira also, many questions are first itself asked and the answers are given in the Charaka Sharira. So after the class over, he will tell what are the things we have studied. And next class, the Atreya will be questioning Agnivesha whether he has studied or not. So this is a dialogue between that is Samhita, dialogue between Guru and Shishyas. So that is every class, every Adhyaya is a class. But in Ashtanga Hridaya, etc., it has a prescribed syllabus and it has been made according to the text form. But Charaka is not as such a text form. It is a class between. So many areas will be, when one subject is explaining, many areas will be describing so that we will get full knowledge of all the areas of that point. That is, so in Chikitsa also, in Jara Chikitsa, for example, he will be telling many aushadhis, many medicines, and can these same medicines can be given all in the same conditions? No. So we have to find out whether which dosha is aggravated in this condition, and we have to, according to our knowledge, we have to change the medicines and give it. See, In Drakshadi Kashaya is explained in Jwara Chikitsa. And Dashamula Kanutraya, there is one more Kashaya that is Nartar or Kashaya is described in Jwara Chikitsa. So one is Ushna and one is Shida. So we have to find out in Kaphaja Jwara, we can give Dashamula Kanutraya, Trigadu, etc. And in the avasthas of Paitika avastha of Jwara, we have to give Drakshadi. So this we have to find out in which condition, which dosha is involved in it. This is very much important. We cannot give all the medicines in Jwara. We have to find out the disease condition which dosha is aggravating. Next please. So, Ushnena Samvritham Pittam Sharan. With Paitika, we have to give Drakshadi. Otherwise, if it is Kaphaja, we have to give Dasamul, Tilgadu Churna, Panchakola Churna, etc. See, I was doing PG. We had cases of Udara cases, Shota cases, in which we were giving Gomutra Harijagi. But from the clinical understanding, we found out that this Gomutra Harijagi is Rucha and Ushma. It cannot be given in Paitika conditions. So we were taking the Shota cases and giving all Shotas this Gomutra Harijagi was given. So we found out that our principles are very much apt that in Paitika or inflammatory type of edema, it is not giving a result, it is increasing. The inflammatory edema or Paitika Shota is increasing by giving Gomutra Harijagi. So this is a very much practical approach that in Kaphaja Shota, it gives 80 or 90% of results also. So every case, when we take, whichever disease it is, we have to see Kapha, Pitta and Vata, which are the components of treatment. We have to see which is aggravated and which type of medicines can be given. If it is Kapha, we have to give Kaphagna Aushadha, and in Pittagna Aushadha should be given in Paitya condition, and Vadika conditions we have to Vadakna condition. So medicines will be prescribed in the chapters. We have to differentiate it and and give the medicines. And how we can give is Dravya, Guna, Karma, Siddhanta. Dravyas can be utilized, or according to Guna also we can treat, or according to Karma also we can treat. Or we can give, both three can be given in the, practically we can give in the medicines. So, Samanyam, Egattuganam, Visheshastu Tugan, Tulyarthatahi Samanyam, Visheshastu Viparya. We have to see that in Darshana and Ayurveda, we have different concepts. In Darshana, Vishesha is separate. While in Ayurveda, Vishesha is utilized as opposite. I shall tell you one example. Stone and water are different, but stone will not decrease water. Though it is prithak or separate, it will not decrease water. While Ushna Jala and Shita Jala are Ushna and Shita, they are opposite. They are prithak, but it is opposite. So that is why Guru Manda Himasnikta Sraksha Sandra Murdustira Guna Sasutra Vishada Vimshati Sabipadya. Viparya. The Guru Leku. That opposite things are told as Vishesha in Ayurveda. Why? Because we are utilizing this Vishesha and Samanya. Samanya is similar and Vishesha is dissimilar. So we are utilizing our terminologies, even dosha, dhatu, everything is technical terminology, and though we take from the darshana, we change it into our own practical utility. So we have to, Ushna Jala and Shita Jala are opposite, and we are utilizing it. We are not utilizing as Prathakvakarana, we are utilizing it opposite. So that the dosha can be kept in normalcy. So Ushnam, Ushnena Sambritam, Itam Charati Chitashide Kapashchevam Basande Sabudiryade. This depicts Afakta Avasthas. Next please. So Dravya Guna Karma Siddhanta, Pradadya Mamsa Satnyaya Jwaridaya Jwarabha. Dravya can be applied. Dravya Samanya. Then we have Rakta Kshaya, Rakta is given. That is Dravya Samanya. Same Dravya can be given. If it is not possible, we have to give the Guna which will increase like that. So that is why the Mamsa Kshaya, Mamsa can be. If Mamsa cannot be available, or he cannot take, Tulya will be Mams Dravya only. In all areas, the Dravya Samanya will be the apt thing, but we cannot apply it sometimes. Mamsa cannot be taken. If Mamsa Kshaya has occurred, we cannot give Mamsa because he may not take Mamsa. In such condition, Chira can be given, which is Guru and Shida. Guru and Snigdha. And Chira is Dravya, not Dravya Samanya, it is Guna Samanya. So Guna Samanya can be advocated in such conditions. Next please. So Chira as Brahmana in Jwara is given. Thadukshaya Janya Jwara, we are giving Chira, Mamsa, everything. If it is Mamsa can be given, we are giving Mamsa. Otherwise, Guna can be, or we can have some of the cases where Medas has been increased, Karma is utilized, and it is Chaya. Karma, it decreases the Medas. Exercise decreases the Medas. So that also is judicially used in the treatment methodology. So next please. So Sharira, Indriya, Manas and Atma. This is the Purusha Siddhanta we are applying. Next. Jnana Buddhi Pradipena Yona Vishati Tattvavid Aturasya Antaratmanam Nasadokam Chikilsati. While treatment, we have to have close relation between the patient. We have to find out what are the problems inside his mind. Then only he can. That is a very good definition, very worthy thing we have to find out from Charaka Samhita. One patient, she came with mental distress and also no sleep, very hard problems, tensions, and she was not telling the problem to anybody. And when I asked him what is the problem, she was telling she was having a son who is not at all studying at all. She cannot tell it to the others. She was not telling it to others, and she was keeping in her mind. So when we had asked him and gave belief for her, she told that he was not studying at all, and she was thinking always about his future. And the son was called, and we had a dialogue with him and asked him and advised him what are the things he will get job, etc. if he studies well. And after that, he studied well and got first mark in the class, and she was very happy. And the positive factor of her distress or mental problem was found out solution for that. That is due to Jnana Buddhi Pradipena. We have to have a close relationship between the your patient and find out the disease and remove it. Next. So, you see, Acharya Charaka says about Jarakala Smritim Chasya Haribhir Vishayer Hare. Even the thought of Jara will create Jara. So, we have to remove the Jarakala Smriti. The memory of Jara also should be relieved. So, how much the Acharya has thought about disease. Even the memory of the disease should be vanished. So, to keep the patient in healthy. So he tells about yatra gamana, tours. So how just not a medicine or a pill for a ill. It is all the things can be utilized for removing the disease. So your yatra gamana is one of the treatment. You can have a tour and pacify your mind so that disease will subside. So everything in this world is a medicine. Like Jivaka was telling, I cannot find anything which is not at all medicine. So if you know the characters of whole world and all the things in this world and the disease, how it has been originated, you can judiciously utilize it to for the health of the man or decreasing the disease or removing the disease and getting relief for the patient. See, tour itself makes man happy. New places when we go, our mind will be refreshed and disease will subside. Next. Karunardram Manashuddham Sarvajjara Vinashanam, he says. If you have a pure mind, disease will vanish. And also Panchabhuta Siddhanta, everything we can utilize. See, in Dinacharya, first we get up, when we get up, we should hear good music. So we were having a prayer also before this program. That prayer itself, good sound, will keep us healthy. It has got a medicinal value. Everything has medicinal value. If you hear good words, it has a medicinal value. And also mantra japa, shast, everything. And sparsha, mani, aushadhi ratna. If we wear, it is called in the pitta chikitsa. In pitta chikitsa, we have to pittasya sarpishapanam, swadu shite virejanam, swadu tikta kashayani, bhojanani, aushadani, and Sugandhi Shida Hridyanam, Gandhanam. Gandha also is utilized for medicinal purpose. And Sugandhi Shida Hridyanam, Gandhanam Upasil, Kante Gunanam Haranam, Marina Murasadhati. Money, jewels, etc. can be weighed. It has touch, by touch it gives medicinal value. And Agni also, Manojya Darshana, good things will be seen. So all Indriyas, Panchabhutas are utilized for treating, and we are a unit of Panchabhutas only. And the world also is Panchabhuta. So all these Panchabhutas in the world can be utilized by their characters for keeping our health. So Jala, Ruchikara Rasa, it will certainly give you healthy. And Prithvi Gandha, good smells certainly will stimulate you. It changes your hormonal imbalance. It keeps our normalcy of the normal health. So these are very much utilized in the Chikitsa. All the Panchabhutas, we are Panchabhuta, and this the world also is Panchabhuta. We have to utilize. In modern also, there is aromatherapy. One of our, we are utilize it in our text. Aromatherapy, good smells are used. And all these things, what we say, color therapy is there. I have heard that, and there is one color of the bridge was changed because many couples come and suicide there due to that color effect. So and picture effect, etc. So everything we have told in our text, we have to utilize it according to proper management. Next, please. And Panchakarma also is like that only for Panchabhuta therapy, Vamana, Jala, and Virechana, Agni, and Anuvasana, Vayu, and Asthavana is indicated for Akasha, and Nasya for Prithvi, Bhuta. So we are a Loka Purusha Samani. This Loka is Panchabhutatmaka, and we are also Panchabhutatmaka, and we are utilizing that principle in the practical way. Next please. So Tridosha Siddhanta, why they found out Tridosha Siddhanta is we as much as decreasing the factors, we can study well. If we are treating Panchabhutas, it is 5, it is too much. So we can decrease everything, Panchabhutas, into 3 factors. That is Akasha, Vayubhyam, Vayu, Agneyam, Vittam, Ampha, Prithivibhyam, / So 3 factors are like in externally we have sun, moon, and also air. So wind. So according to that, there is a controlling factor that is Vayu, and there is a Shita, that cold thing that is governed by Kapha, and hot factor which is governed by Pitta. So these things we have to find out in the body, and we have to treat. When hot things are increased in the body, we have to decrease it. If cold things are increased, cold factors are increased in the body, we have to decrease, keep the normalcy. With the controlling factor also making normalcy, health will be preserved. So we can judiciously utilize all the things in this world according to this, and all the Aushadha in world is very much divided into according to Tridosha Kara or Tridosha Vada Kara, Vada. It's a wonderful thing in Charaka Samhita that every drug is divided. We have to think how they created this. Like Bala, Sahajara, everything, all the medicines in this world are divided into utility of Ayurveda, Vadatna, Pittatna, Kapatna, or Vatakara, like that. How we can, so how much study they have done it, and how much people, civilizations has gone through this Ayurveda to find out these things. That is why in Ashtanga Hridayagara tells we have done many research works in Ayurveda, and this is the conclusion of it. You need not go and do some more research for that. You utilize what we have found out, and because we have done many researches, and we have seen that these medicines are very much effective according to the dosha concept. If we are utilizing it, you have to just practice it and find out whether it is effective or not. And we mantravat samprayoktavyam na mimamsyam kathanchana. So much caliber, so much work has been done on Ayurvedic principles and also medicinal things that we can just utilize it. That is enough. So Vadiga, Jara, Rucha, Chala qualities are increased. So in such conditions, the opposite things are Shatpalagrita, Snigdha. It is Snigdha, and also because it is Ruksha, Vadiga Jara, Snigdha is Shatpalagrita. Viparidam Jwaroshmanam Jayat Pittam Jashaityada Snehat Vadam Hridam Tulyam Yoga Samskara Daktam. Viparidam, this is concept. Viparidam Jwaroshmanam. Hridaya is Jwaroshmanam Viparidam. Opposite to Jwaroshma. It is Shida. And Jayat Pittam Jashaityada. It is Shida, so Pitta will. Sneha Vatam, by Sneha Guna Vata is decreased, decreased Vata. So Vadika Jwara, this Shatpala Grita can be given, just opposite to the qualities of Vata. Gridam Tulyam, Yoga Samskara. When Shatpala is given, Shatpala is the medicines by which Shatpala Grita is made. So Shatpala is Kapakada also. So we can utilize the medicines in different ways by samskara. That is why aushadhis are very much described in Ayurveda, different types of aushadhis, different types of preparations, so that in almost even some of the disorder where Sannibada, Vada, Pitta, Kapha are increased, even that can be managed by samskara. Different types of samskaras, the disease can be managed, disease can be managed. So, such a wonderful area the Ayurveda has. Next, please. So that is next is Ama Siddhanta. That is one of the Siddhantas Ayurveda goes through. Amashem Pravishya, Ama Manugamya. Every disorder starts with Ama. So that is why in almost all the disorders we start with Ama Pachana drugs. Panchakola Churna, Trigadu Churna, all these things are given for sometimes. Srota Shuddhi can be given. So when the srotas or purification is done, almost all the disorders will decrease. The symptoms of the disease will vanish because Shuddhi or purification of srotas is the main thing we need to have disease decrease. When purified srodasas are there, when srodasas are purified, the medicines will be going deeper into the cells and tissues, and it will have effect. So that is why Amapachana is first done in Jara. The Upavasa treatment and also Lankhana treatment and Deeptekno Ulakhav Lankhane Chapite Doshe Deeptekno Ulakhave Sadi Swasthyam Chutta Dujipatya Balam Ojasta Jayati. So this is the principle of Ama. Ama can, if Ama is managed, many of the disorders, and we say that Kayo Nam Antaragni Tasya Chigilsa Kaya Chigilsa. So Agni, when it is proper, and there was one physician in professor in Mysore Ayurveda College, you may not be knowing, PTK Nambishan. I had personal relation with him, and I used to go there. He used to tell, when you treat, you have to see two things only. I used to treat like that only. He was telling, that is, one is Agni. You increase the Agni, and next one is Malashodhana. If these two are proper, he will be healthy. And there is a story that Ashwini Devas came in disguise as Ashtavaidya to study Ayurveda, and they wanted to examine him whether he has studied well, and they were asking who will be Aroga. Then this Ashtavaidya chanted a sloga that is called Nityam Hitamida Bhoji Krita Chandramana Kramena Vamashaya Abhitita Mutra Burisho Strishu Yatatma Soyu. Who will be healthy? There are three things we have to see, three pillars of life, that is Ahara, Vidra, and also Vyayama. These things, when they are proper, certainly health will be maintained. So for Ama will be decreased by Dipanapachana, so almost all the disorders will be vanished. Next. See, anything can be utilized in the proper manner to keep health. In Jara, we have to learn that methodology. Ushna Jala. he says about Ushna Jala and Shita Jala. Even the Jala, when Ushna which is taken, it will clear all the sources and keep you healthy. And when it is this Ushna Jala itself, when it will be Shita, when it is given, it blocks the sources and causes disease. In this corona period, we advise the patients to take hot water. Why? Because any jara will be coming due to the obstruction of the sodas. And when you take Ushna Jala, it will be the sodas will be cleared and it can prevent the disease. That is why Krishnad Alpalpam Ushna Ambu Pibet Vataka Bhajjare Tat Kapham Vilayam Nitwa Trishnamasu Nivartaye Udirya Chadrin Srotamsi Murdugritya Nishodhaye Lina Pitanila Sweda Shakrinmutranulopanam Krishna Jadyarujiharam Prananam Avalambanam. Then he says Viparita Matashitam. So how many qualities he has told about Ushna Jala, just Ushna Jala, it will clear the sources, purify the sources and keep you healthy. When it is Viparitam Atashitam, if it is Shita, it blocks the sources and causes disease. So how much they have gone through each and every guna or quality of all the things, even a water, even everything he has a, we have to apply it. That's all. We have to utilize it to keep the body in healthy condition. Next. So there will be Karya Karana Siddhanta, that is Viprakrishtakala Karanas will be in there, and Sannikrishta Karana, that is Dosha Vaishamya, Kalartha Karma, etc. are Viprakrishta Karana. So we have to find out which causative factor. That is very much explained in the Charaka Samhita, Swabhava Paramavada. Sejed Abalalapacha Vyayama Snanamaithanam Guru Asatya Vidahyanam Echanyat Garagar. What are the causative factors which produce this disease? We have to find out. And that is why Guru Asatya Vidahyanam. If it is causing the disease, you don't take it. You and proper diet should be maintained so that disease will vanish. Swabhava Parama. Causative factors will when removed, disease also will be removed. Next. And Chikitsa Krama very much described in Jara Chikitsa, Langhanam, Sveganam Galo, Yavagus, Tikta Goresa, Malanam, Patananishu, Ethavastam, Kramenam. So we have to purify the sources and give the medicines. For that, he says, Lankhana, Svetana, Kala, Yavagu, Tiktarasa, Malana, Pajana. Pajana Chikitsa, Dipana Pajana should be given a case that is according to the principles of, basic principles of Samhita Siddhanta only we are utilizing. Next please. Avastha, Vyatyavastha Vibhagajna, Paschannarthan Pradikshanam. We have to know the Vyatyavastha. And Acharya Charaka tells about Tishtat Tubari Yuktitnyo Darbhyatjana Vadam Sada. Many people will be knowing different types of yogas, but that doesn't give result for the disease. We have to know Yukti. We have to have Yukti. We study in the Samhita Siddhanta what is Yukti. There will be different types of Bahukarana Yogaja. There will be Bahukaranas. We have to find out from which is the Karana and utilize medicines. Yukti and Anumana is different. Yukti is much utilized in the treatment in Ayurveda than Anumana. Anumana you can see by fire, you can find out the from the smoke you can find out the fire. But this is different. We have to think about and find out. The Bahukarana is there, not one factor. So we have to think about which will be judiciously used for that condition. That is why Charaka says about yukti in are prescribed. So one medicine cannot relieve all the disorders or all conditions. We have to select one of the medicines that is depending upon the avastha. Different avasthas are there. Maybe in Jara Vamana is told. That is one avastha. You cannot give Vamana in all the conditions of Jara. He says, तत्रोत्तिष्ठे समुत्तिष्ठे कफप्राये चले मले सहृल्लास प्रसेग अन्नद्वेषकास विशूदिके सद्यो भुक्तस्य संजाते ज्वरे सामे विशेषता वमन. In that conditions only Vamana can be. So we have to see these different conditions for that yukti should be there. So avastha, yatyavastha vibhaganya, that we should. If it is ama, if it is nirama, the medicine differs. So we have to see which condition, upavasa, deepanapatana in ama. If it is nirama, you can use aushadhas, kashaya padapatyane, dashaha iti lankhite, sakirdatyat. That is next avastha. Sarpi cannot be given in the first avastha, in the ama avastha. So this differs. Next. Next. So these are some of the things. Vadaja Pittali and Pittaja Kirada Ditta and Kabaja Vatshagadi, Vyakhyadi, etc. Kashayas can be given. Next. Jirna Jwara Viparidam Jaroshmanam Jayat Pittam Jashachidas Dehadvadam Judam. Kasha Juda, even in such conditions, depends upon Nirama condition, Jirna Jwara conditions, we have to see. Next. Chira Prayoga also, if Bala has been decreased, Chiro Jirasya, Prakshina Sklashmano, Dahatrudvada, Chiram Pitanilartasya, Patyamapya Disarida. If it is, if the Chira condition occurs and Nirama conditions, Chira can be given and it rejuvenates the diseased condition of the patient. Next. So Vamana, I already told. Next, please. So Virejana also can be given. It is the condition is prescribed. Pittamba, Kabha Pittamba, Pakwashe Gadam Haret, Samsanam, Trinapi Mala, Jara, Pittam, Kabha Pittamba, Pakwashe Gadam. If it is Pakwashe Gada, we have to give Virejana. If it is Amashe Gada, Vamana can be given. So that depends upon the Vyakhyavastha. Next. Vasti also Prachina Kapapitasya, Trigapristakadigrahe, Deeptat Nirbattashagada, Prayunjida, Anuvasanam. Anuvasanam can be given in such conditions where Kapha, Pitta, Prachina, less. And Vadiga, if the disease is Vadiga, we have to give Anuvasana. Why? Because Vada is Tatra, Utro, Dagu, Sita, Kara, Sukshma, Stalonila. So Sneha can be given. Laghu Sita in that Snigdha and Ushna can be given. So accordingly, we have to utilize the medicines for Vasti. Next. Niruha also in such conditions we can use Niruhastu Balam Manjim, Vicharatam Udam Rujim, Doshe Yukta Karotyash Pakke Pakwasyam. So in such conditions, Vadiga conditions, we can give Niruha also. Next. Nasya. There are different types of Nasyas are utilized. Purana Sarpi in Jara it is utilized. And I had one case of the patient was from Bangalore. He was admitted in the St. John's Hospital and he had got aruchi. Severe aruchi. He cannot identify what are the rasas when put into the tongue. And he was telling, doctor, can I have some food with the knowing the taste? So I I prescribed him Nasya, and that is Narayana Taila Nasya, and also with Gorojanadi Gudiga. Why? Because we have to see which dosha is vitiated in such conditions. We know that Bodhaka or Rasanasthayi, that is, Bodhaka is situated in the Rasana. So, correcting that, Shiras Samsthoksha Tarpana, Tarpaga, Sandhi Samsresha, Bodhaka or Rasanasthayi. Bodhaka kapha is situated in the tongue and related with it, and we have to clear it. If there is an obstruction of ama by that, we cannot know the taste. So what we have to do, amahara drabya should be given, and soda shuddhikara drabya should be. And as it is in the related with Shiras, we prescribed the Nasya also, that is Narayana Taila. Why? Because Vadika Anulomana. Vada should be, to correct the Vada, we gave the Narayana Taila. Taila is the best for Vada, and Pranavayu is vitiated in these conditions, and so Bodhaka Kapha, Pranavayu, and also Pitta should be also should not be increased. It should be also cleared. For that, we gave Gorojanati Gudiga and also this Nasya. And by 15 days, he was clear. He could understand the taste of the food, and he was very happy, and he was relieved from aruchi. So it depends upon the judicious blending of the medicines. Next. Narayana Taila and Gorojanadi Gurika. So this next. And Rasayana also can be given in such conditions. Prada Sadailam Lasuna in Jara to remove Rasayana. All the disorders, when treated, ends with the Rasayana. Starts with the Amapatana and ends with the Rasayana. Rasayana Rasayana is given to prevent the re-onset of the disease. There will be a Deha Chaya, Deha Daurbalya occurring due to disease that will be rejuvenated by the Rasayana. That is why Prameha, first the Vasti, everything, Chikitsa is prescribed, and after that, Mehino, Vilna Kuryad, Adu, Amanarejane, Snigthasya, Sanshabarishta, Nikumbachagaranjade, Kaili, Trigandagadishta, Esasum Swati, like that it is prescribed. And all the purification is done, the Banabhatana is done, and after finally he says about Shilajadu Tula Amatyat, Prameha, Shilajadu Rasayana should be given so that re-onset will not be there. So every disease, even Jara, any disease, we ends with the Rasayana. So Rasayana also is very much prescribed in the Jara also. All the disorders, there is a krama for treatment that starts with Divanapatana, Amapatana, Divanapatana, so Shamana, Shuddhi krama, Samana, and also Rasayana. This is the order of it. Next. So Daiva Vyapashya Chikitsa also is Chapa Atharvana Mantrothe Vidya Daiva Vyapashya Oshateo Manahescha Sumantra, even Oshadi Sadhu Burad Vija Daivata Puja Pritikara Manaso Vishayascha Knantyapi Vishnu Kritam Jaramukram. So there are three types of treatment, that is Yukti Vyapashya, Sattvavajaya, and also Daiva Vyapashya. That is why in Arogya Rakshana he says Nityam Hitahara Vihara Sevi. That is for Yukti Vyapashya. Nityam Hita. If you do Nityam Hitahara Vihara Sevi, you don't get disease. That is Yukti Vyapashya. Even though you are doing it, some accidents may occur and you will be diseased. For that, what we have to do is Daiva Vyapashya Chikitsa also is prescribed. We have to he says about Nityam Hidahara Vihara Samichagari Vishayeshu Asakta. That is for Sattva-Avadaya. Samichya Vishayeshu Asakta. Samichagari, Sattva, Manas will be controlled. Then also you can get disease that is managed by Daivavyavasya, that is Dada Samas Satyapara Kshamavan Apto Vasevita. You have to give donations, you have to give dana for things, and prayer also, that is Daivavyavasya, that is unknown. Causes of the disease also will be. So we have a holistic approach about disease and its management based on basic principles. Next please. So this is one of the astrological study we did that also can be utilized in Ayurveda. We have utilized it. That is development of assessment tool, Sattobala based Ayurvedic concepts and its comparative appraisal with principles of Indian astrology, processional analytical study. That is, Sattva-Avadaya tool was made according to Ayurveda. According to Ayurveda, a tool was made and assessed the sattva of a person. And this sattva of the person was assessed by astrological, by an astrologer, and that was compared with it. Some of the grahas, etc., in one of the rashis makes the shows that sattva will be alpa sattva, and we compared that with astrological and also Ayurvedic methodology. So up to 70% it was same. It was unanimous. Alpa sattva was identified by both people. So this is very much the astrology is the one of the things we can find out some of the disease patterns if we can judiciously use it. Next, please. And Charaka says about Trisraishaniya Punarjanma Siddhanta. That also we have modern studies, that is many lives, many masters. That is a book written by a study in US in a university, and it is available in the net also. Many masters, many lives, many masters. That tells about previous janmas. We don't have faith in it. And Charaka says that there is previous janma, Punarjanma is there, and that is very much established in US by a research study. And when Westerners say we have faith in it. So that also is, Charaka Samhita tells about it. And Pratyakhyana Chikitsa can be done some of the cases. If Asadhya also can be managed. Next please. This is one of the case which was presenting with respiratory distress, cough, fever, recurrent cyanosis, congenital heart disease, and so many problems, pulmonary artery hypertension, Down syndrome, etc. She came to me, and she was at that time 3 months only, and she was returning from the hospital, and doctors told that she cannot survive after 3 months. Before 3 months, she will be. She cannot. She cannot survive, and the father and mother was crying, and I told in Ayurveda, Navaidya Prapura Aisha, you cannot tell eyes about a person by. We cannot tell. If we try best, we can get some result. We shall try. And Pratyakhyana Chikitsa was done, and Ayurvedic treatment was done, and they were telling maximum 6 months life for that child, and we gave Indugantam. There is one kashayam with Gorodhanadi tablet, etc. She was having fever, etc. And the Panchamula Kashaya was given, and Indugantam Gorodhanadi Gudiga was given, and now she is studying in 6th standard. I shall show you the photo. I am showing that photo of her. She is studying. She is still alive. So Pratyakhyana is also. this arterial spinal stenosis. She was not moving at all. In such conditions, by using our Ayurvedic medicines itself, she got very much relief, and she was walking now. This is why, because she was having a block. That is, we treat it like Ama or Kapha Sanjaya, and we were giving in the Matravasti with the Dhanudaram Tailam and to alleviate the Vata and Kapha by Induganda Kashaya, and she was relieved and she is normal now. So next please. So these are the things I wanted to tell as a we Charaka Samhita, when we study, its principles can be very much practiced. Principles, whatever told in the Charaka Samhita, when we go deep into that, that can be utilized in the treatment, and we should utilize the basic principles and find its result. Personally, if you find out the result also, if you are studying well the Ashtanga Ayurveda Samhitas. So the by hearting is also very much important. When you by heart it, your intellect satatathyanam vada paratantra avaloganam tadvidya acharya sevaja buddhi mekha karogana. You have satata adhyanam. Yeah, always you have to do study so that your buddhi metha karagana. It increases your buddhi and your health will be maintained. And whenever you by heart it, you think about it, and you can practically utilize when a patient comes. So this is 100% belief you should have in the text and utilize it. And we have experienced it for the last 40 years. We have been studying and teaching and practicing the science. And this is a learning process of Charaka Samhita is certainly a great boon for you, dear students, and you should utilize it. That's all I want to tell. Thank you for calling me. It's my homecoming. There was some difficulty in the network, and also I am extremely sorry for that. We cannot first some problems in the presentations. Thank you very much for Chatterjee and Asdeva Chatterjee and also Srivatsaji and Gajan Hegdeji, Ramoshaji. Thank you for all for a nice function. Okay, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our request and enriching our knowledge, sir. Sir, giving valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kirathamurthy, sir. Thank you for enlightening us with your elaborative and informative session by highlighting the principles of Charakatsu Chikitsate through the principles of Siddhanta, which can be adopted in treatment. Thank you, sir. I sincerely thank all the team members and organizing committee, members of Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, and all the staff and UG and PG students who worked on and off the screen to make the inaugural program, a grand success. I request the same support and guidance for the upcoming sessions of Charaka Ghosham. Thank you all. Thank you.